Guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Pia, and if you're wondering why I'm looking barefaced, I'm sitting barefaced in this condition right now, is because today's video is all about makeup. It's not a tutorial. I'm not a professional makeup artist, but over the years I've had my phases where I've went and bought crazy amount of makeup and literally painted my face with foundation and contour stick and blush without knowing the right techniques. I used to overdo it. I used to look different. It used to worsen my acne, and I feel like I'm finally at a point where I know the amount of makeup I have to do to look good, to cover up my acne, and I have spent a lot of money behind it, and I'm here to show you all what exactly you need, the exact amount of products you need to look good without having to spend a lot, which is the mistake I did. So, and I'm currently in my bad skin situation, so I'm here to show how a little amount of makeup can change that for you and you don't have to spend that money. So let's get into it. First and foremost, now I'm gonna show you all different choices throughout, but you can always see what works out for you. We're gonna always start off with primer. I have done my skincare, my sunscreen is on. I am directly getting into makeup, but don't forget SPF ever. The first step is, of course, always and always primer. Now I have two primers here. I would recommend for anyone with acne, I think any green color primer is a must, because it generally just covers your entire redness and inflamed skin. I always prefer keeping two primers. I use the green one to just kind of completely color correct my redness, and I use the other primer to actually even out my pores. So I actually go out with both. That was the one by Ellie Girl, and this is the Elf Putty primer, which is very spoken about, and it's not bad. I mean, it's not gonna do the job of like a high-end primer, but yeah, it does like smoothen out my skin. Okay, now the primer is done, we're gonna go to concealers. Now for concealer, you can either go in with a concealer that's exactly your skin shade to cover your dark circles. If that's your goal, amazing, that's what I usually do. But if I want to go a little bit extra when I have to go for, like, suppose like any functions, weddings, anything, or parties, I usually go with a lighter shade, like one shade lighter, to kind of highlight the high points. But when I'm just usually going out in general, I only go with a concealer that is my exact skin shade to cover my dark circles and my acne. So I'm using this one by Sephora. Like it a lot, and I go in and put very little. Then I never directly put your concealer on your the wand on your acne, because you're kind of contaminating it. What I do is I just first pat down the product over the acne. The technique I had shown earlier, I do it too, but this is what I'm showing you when I am short of time. I just cover it up that way. I let it be for a minute. Till then, I quickly blend out my eye. So I'm gonna blend this out and be right back. So I have blended out my under eye concealer. Now I just go in with my fingers. I avoid using brushes as much as I can, because it kind of causes, they are very dirty and it leads to more acne. So I just go ahead and blend it in with my fingers, and I feel like it genuinely does like a better job. See, now my aim is not to cover my acne 1000%, because let's be honest, that does not happen. And I think you shouldn't go in with that aim. It's okay, just hide the redness. That's it. It does cover a lot of the redness. I want to keep it this way. If I go in too cakey, it just looks overdone. So this is how much I cover it. Now if I want to go all out, I go in with a concealer shade lighter, as I said before, but I will not do that today. The next step, I always use a translucent powder. This is the one by PAC. I usually use the one by Maybelline. love it. I just bought this, so I'm trying it out. I still love the Maybelline one more, to be honest. Now, a powder is important for oily skin, of course, because it kind of sets your oiliness, like it takes your oiliness down. But it's also important to always set in the under eye concealers and the spots that you have covered your acne with. So I take very little. Now this you have to use a brush, so I have no choice. But I am putting it literally only on my under eyes, not on my cheeks, because my blush is gonna go there. And on just all on the areas where I have concealed my acne. That's it. Translucent powder is a must. I will never ever tell you all to skip that step. It just gets your look together. Now, moving on, the next step is blush. What I usually do, I love liquid blushes. I think they make your skin look very natural. It works for my skin. It doesn't clog my pores, leading to more acne. But if you feel that it's not doing the job for you, you can always use a powder one. These are my go-tos, and they do the work for me. So on days I feel like I have to not go out for that long hours, I just simply go in with a powder blush. But on days I feel like, you know, I have more hours I need to be out, I go with a liquid. I know I look hilarious, guys, just bear with me. Again, I only use my fingers to blend this out. I do not trust brushes. They are bad. I have barely applied anything, and it's still, this is fantastic. If anyone who is in a mood to splurge a little bit, I think it's so worth investing. It wouldn't disappoint you. Like, that's it. Like, I'm good to go. That is all you need. If you can splurge, then this one is really good. If you want a drugstore one, this one by Ellie Gold is also really nice. This is in the shade Blissful, and this is Joy. And if you want a powder one, which is also coral, because I'm a corally person, then you can go in with the powder one, which is Nude Peach. I've been having this for really long. Now, if you go in with this, you have to use a brush. I'm doing this just to show you all. I don't usually go in with powder brushes all the time, but you can choose either, or you can choose both. That's it. The next step is not necessarily important. You can totally skip it. It's something I like to do, so I do it. And that is a contour stick. I use a very little, but I feel like it's important for me. I honestly, makeup is therapeutic for me, and I love adding this extra step. It does make a difference for me. So I like going in with a contour stick. If you're a beginner, or if you're not that interested in makeup and you're doing it just to like look better, you can totally skip this step. But if you're someone who's very interested like me, and you know, who likes a contour look, who wants to like do the entire cut situation, the jawline situation, surely go ahead. I feel like it's a game changer. I love the way it makes you look. Like, it just suddenly gave my nose a nose job, you know, if you'll get me. But yeah. That's it. I have blended this out. This is the one by Milk Cosmetics. You don't get this in India as of now, but I think there are many others available. I also do have a bronzer, but I stopped using a bronzer a long time back because it used to give me like a tan look. I used to look like a shade darker, and I felt like a contour stick. Again, with bronzer I had to use a brush. With a contour stick I can just directly use my fingers, and I feel like it's safer for me, and it also does the job without having to like make me look dark, and it needs minimal effort. So you can totally skip this step though. After this, I think we're done with the face and we can go on to the eyes. Eyebrow pencil, must. It's something you should never skip on. If you're someone with a fluffy brows, then I guess you can. But if you're someone like me who needs their brows to be filled, then I think like shaping your eyebrows and just filling them up a little bit can like change your entire look. And I think like one pencil also like lasts you pretty long. Do you see? It's not a lot, but it just like it still looks better. I don't know if y'all can see the difference, but okay, so I'm done with my brows. Now moving on to our eyeshadow palette. I bought this one by Makeup Revolution a long time back. I'm sorry, it's so very dirty, but this is very old, and the reason why I like it is because it covers all the shades. So it's like you buy it once and you're set for a very long amount of time. If you're someone who is not like a big eyeshadowy person, like I barely do anything, you will see the one elf has like this 3-4 palette thing for like I think 300 or 400 bucks, and it totally does your job. So for someone who's not into makeup but wants to look good, they purchase that one palette and they're good to go always. So what I usually do is I just like take a nude shade, not nude, a brown shade, put it up, so many times I actually don't even go with eyeshadow. I'm doing this right now just to show you all, in case I ever use like an eyeshadow alternative, but I usually just go in with like a blue liner or like the brown smoky line that I showed you in the previous video, my review one. If you haven't watched that yet, please go ahead and do give it a watch. It was a game changer for me. So I literally do this, and one thing I don't forget is whenever I go with eyeshadow, it changes the entire game. And then I go with like glitter a little bit, interesting. But this also I do it only when I want to go for parties. This is just to show you all right now. I don't do this always. Like you're good. So I think either this Makeup Evolution palette or the one by elf, and you're sorted. You don't have to spend extras on buying 3-4 palettes for no reason. I have done that and I spent a lot, so don't do it. Now coming to mascara. So mascaras expire very quickly is something I didn't know, and I recently came to know that waterproof mascaras aren't safe and can lead to a lot of toxicity. So I used to use this one by L'Oreal, the Voluminous Lash Paradise, but this is very old, and these big ones don't get over that fast, they expire. I have a lot left. That's not opening. Great, I bought this one by Too Faced. It's Better Than Sex mascara. It is small, you can carry it, it will get over before it expires. I got the non-waterproof one because it is safer for your eyes, and I also realized that when I used to use a waterproof one, taking out the mascara used to be such a difficult job and my lashes used to break. Okay guys, our mascara is on and that much is enough. So I would really recommend you all to buy a smaller mascara, that to a non-waterproof one for yourselves. So yeah, okay, now moving on to the last step, which is the lips. I think you should have three lip products. One's a lip liner, one's a lip pencil or lipstick, and a gloss. All three are a must. So I don't go on with lip liners that often. I know it's bad, but you should. Taking off my balm. So I just own this one by K Beauty and I absolutely love it. It is so affordable. It glides on like a charm. Now I obviously don't need to overline my lips, so I never do it. So what I usually do is I go in with my lip liner and a gloss, or I take a lipstick and just dab it. I think it's a lipstick's worth investing. Now if you want to go for like a simple look, then just go with a lip liner and a gloss and you're done. If you want a lipstick to last the entire day, then go with the Maybelline Super Stay Ink or the vinyl one. The vinyl one is better, 1000%. Love it. It is my go-to. I get this because the vinyl one stay on your lips for too long and can cause hyperpigmentation. This is comparatively doesn't stay on for the entire day, but it still gives my lips like a nice color. So I love this one. But in today's case, I'm just going to go with a gloss. This one's by Anastasia. If anyone's looking for a beautiful gloss which is like you're ready to spend on it, I think this will be a thing. It's a tad bit expensive. I think it's for 2000, but trust me, even after the gloss comes out, like for most glosses, I have the Fenty one which I love, but it does come off after a while. This, when it comes off, it still leaves some kind of a tint. It tastes delicious, and just look how beautiful it looks. That's it. That's all you need. And they are very good gloss options for drugstore as well, so you can always check that out. For highlighter, sorry, I forgot about that. I have currently been using this one by K Beauty. So this does 2-in-1 job. It can be used as a highlighter, and it can also be used as like a under concealer, under base shimmer, basically like a strobe cream, but just it's a liquid. So whenever I barely use a foundation, but if you guys want a foundation preference, I don't go with that. But for a drugstore one, the Maybelline one is really good. Maybelline, the L'Oreal Infallible, or the LA Girl. And for high-end, the Charlotte Tilbury. Do you see that? Again, I don't go with a foundation because I don't think it's important. I think a good high coverage concealer can do the job of a foundation as well. But yeah, see, I think this does the job of a highlighter and a stroke cream too. So I think you're good. That's it, guys. We're done. I have to go because I'm going for a lunch date with my mom today. But this is the look, and I've done it with minimum makeup, as less as I could. There are still ways you can reduce this by using like a blush as eyeshadow, a lip, and a blush. But I wanted to show you all the minimum things that you can need, at least to reduce the ones that you have currently. Don't splurge too much. I'm sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me. Be mindful of what you're buying, and invest in products only after you've used them or after a good review, because what works for someone else might not work for you. So it should not be money gone to waste. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all learned something, and I will see you all next time. Please like, share, and subscribe, and yeah, bye.